I took 2 years. 2 years. I didn't date nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. He came in my life out the blue. He came in my life out the blue, right? And I said, God, he got to be the one, right? He got to be the one. Because I wasn't looking for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew he was the one, right? My kids' dad left. They said, my kids. I raised my kids by myself. My grandma helped me. I've been through hell and back. So you know what? This ain't his fault. The problem is, I can't take no more. That's the problem. I can't take no more.
In the modern age of social media, it's impossible to keep your personal struggles entirely private. What happens behind closed doors can be broadcasted to millions, whether you wanted to or not. And for 32-year-old Kiki, this reality has become her life. Her personal pain, heartbreak, and the collapse of her relationship have been laid bare for the world to see, and with it, the public's judgment. It wasn't supposed to be like this. She thought her marriage was going to be the foundation she could build her life upon. She was committed to the man she married, despite the warning signs, despite the whispers, despite the doubts. Yet no one told her how just moments after their wedding, she would lose him. And now, as she struggles to keep her head above water, her pain and frustration have become the subject of public scrutiny. Her story, though unique in its details, represents something much larger. A reflection of how we all navigate relationships in a world where everything is exposed, where even the most private moments can be dissected and discussed online. But before we begin, let's take a step back, a deep breath, and start from the beginning. Kiki Jones, known for her lively presence online, has captivated over 300,000 followers with her infectious energy. Born and raised with a passion for performance, Kiki built her platform from the ground up, first gaining attention with skits and pranks. She quickly gained a reputation as a fun-loving, free-spirited woman who could brighten anyone's day with a smile.
People always ask me, can my man like other girls' pictures? Especially this girl in his green dress. But hey, my man can do whatever he wants. I have no trust issues. I love my man. He can like this girl in the green dress all he wants. Because I trust my man.
But behind the screen, her life was anything but perfect. Her followers watched her evolve from a playful influencer to a woman facing intense personal struggles. Kiki became a mother to 2 beautiful daughters, and in March of the same year, she married the man she believed to be her soulmate. Her marriage was one of the cornerstones of her public life. Fans believed that Kiki had everything: love, family, and a thriving career. However, in private, she began facing a deeply troubling reality that would soon play out for the entire world to witness. Kiki's life, despite the success she found online, was never without its challenges. Behind the perfect photos and pranks, there was heartbreak, self-doubt, and eventually, betrayal. While many thought Kiki was married to an almost perfect man, their relationship had always been rocky. It wasn't the kind of marriage most people dreamed about, but, like many women, Kiki believed in the idea that love could fix things. That if she tried hard enough, if she gave enough of herself, their problems would eventually fade into the background. But they didn't. She continued to make sacrifices, believing that her dedication and love could repair their bond. Every argument, every setback, felt like one step closer to finding a solution, but the pattern never changed. Brandon, a man with a past that Kiki couldn't entirely understand, had his own demons: jealousy, insecurity, and an inability to trust. And as time went on, these flaws began to consume him. He started showing signs of possessiveness, checking Kiki's phone, scrutinizing her every move. The cracks in their relationship widened. Kiki began to lose pieces of herself as she tried to appease him. She stopped going out with friends, stopped wearing clothes that might draw attention, and gave up her hobbies to ensure Brandon wouldn't feel threatened. Slowly, she felt herself shrinking in the relationship. but she convinced herself it was all part of making things work for the sake of their family. But what Kiki didn't know was that Brandon's infidelity was already underway. She wasn't the only woman in his life, and though she wanted to ignore the signs, there was a nagging feeling in her gut that told her something wasn't right. He was distant, he was secretive, but when she confronted him, he would deny everything. He swore he loved her, swearing there was no one else. His words, however, didn't match his actions. Kiki would find random messages on his phone, late-night calls he'd quickly dismiss, and unexplained absences that only made her suspicion grow. She started to notice that his demeanor had shifted. His attention was elsewhere, and the man she once knew seemed like a stranger. But she desperately held on to hope, convincing herself it was just a phase and that things would go back to normal. Then came the turning point. Kiki found out about his affair with her own friend, someone who had attended her own wedding, celebrated with her. While Brandon's cheating wasn't a surprise, but it still stung, knowing that it was with someone she had considered a friend. The betrayal was staggering, and for Kiki, it felt like her entire world was collapsing. But she wasn't just hurt by her husband's actions. She was devastated that the person she trusted the most had deceived her in such a hurtful way. But this wasn't the only blow she would face. Alongside the infidelity, Kiki also had to grapple with the loss of her children. In an unexpected twist, Kiki's 2 young daughters were taken away by Child Protective Services.
I came back, he got the top lock on. He locked me out the house. So guess what? I started beating the windows. I'm not realizing the kid in there, y'all. I'm losing my mind. Some say go to that damn window by the allegedly sugar in the tank. Allegedly, I don't know. I opened the mother window, y'all. The window. I don't know why that window was unlocked. I think I always unlock that window just in case. I come through the window. I got the phone. I got something in my hand. I got something allegedly in my hand. He looking at me. He calling 911. I'm gonna tell you about the CPS. I come through the window like a mother Spider-Man. You wanna play with me? You wanna lock me out my own mother house? I know that the little boy, he was terrible. I ain't gonna lie.
Kiki explained during one of her emotional live sessions that the events of her life, her battles with mental health, the strain in her marriage, and her personal struggles led to the involvement of CPS. She felt overwhelmed by the pressure to keep it all together while also trying to be a good mother, wife, and influencer. But the weight of everything eventually became too much for her to bear. For many people, the thought of losing their children is one of the most devastating things that can happen. Kiki's emotional breakdown as she detailed the loss of her kids and the turmoil of her personal life was hard to watch. She made it clear that she wasn't trying to justify her actions, but was simply expressing her pain. Her followers, who had followed her journey for years, were left with mixed emotions. On the one hand, they could empathize with her pain, but on the other hand, Kiki had built her platform on pranks and skits, leading some to question whether this latest post was just another prank or a real cry for help. As Kiki sobbed live on social media, wearing her wedding dress, her followers were left in shock. She shared that her marriage had fallen apart due to her husband's infidelity, and she expressed regret for all the public outbursts and emotional posts that she had made in the past.
I've been torn down. So much in my life. And then when I called my mommy, and I said, "My mommy, I need you." She won't come here. I begged my mom, "Please come here." I said, "Mom, I'll pay everything. You don't gotta pay a bill." I said, "Mom, just come here. Come here with me. You ain't gotta pay no bills. I just need you." She gotta stay with her sister. She loves her sister so much. My mom loves her sister so much. She won't come in here with me. My grandma, she loved my kids so much, I think she forgot about me. My dad, I try to talk to him. But he's so hard up. He's such a hard nigga, bro. He believe what I'm doing is crazy. He say a nigga. He say stop crying instead of holding me. I want him to hold me. I want him to hold me. I want my dad to hug me. I want my mom to hug me. But I don't have it. I grew up at a young age, bro. I ran away home at 14. And a dude that I trusted from the chat line. You remember the chat line? Y'all remember the chat line? I trusted an older man. And he got me to his house. And he got me to his house. And he let a bunch of guys come in. And he told me that my family ain't gonna come looking for me. And he took my phone. You remember back then we had the little phones that go like that. He took my phone. Then I went to school and they bullied me. They bullied me because I was a big girl. Because the disease blew me the up. I ain't never been happy. All the men want is to me. They just want to me. They just want to hurt me. And all society want to do is judge you. Say, go commit her. Put her in the hospital. That's all they want to do to you. Nobody actually gives a about what you're going through. Nobody.
For Kiki, this moment was her attempt to break free from the hurt and turmoil, to expose her truth, and to stop pretending that everything was okay. It was an act of vulnerability that some could relate to, but for others, it raised more questions than answers. This live broadcast, filled with raw emotion, was not just another prank. It wasn't an attempt to gain views or attention. It was a cry for help from a woman who'd been trying to keep her head above water. Her transparency was a reflection of the mental and emotional weight she had been carrying for months, if not years. She wanted her followers to understand that beneath the surface of her online persona, she was struggling and she needed their support more than ever. Kiki also revealed in her live stream that she had been going through therapy, trying to get the help she so desperately needed. She admitted that her struggles with her mental health, particularly her bipolar disorder, had contributed to the breakdown in her relationship and her inability to keep her family intact. She openly discussed her battles with depression and the emotional toll it had on her as a mother and a wife. Despite the pain she was feeling, Kiki expressed hope that she would one day be able to get her life back on track. She promised her followers that she was working on herself and would continue to try to heal from the damage that had been done. But the damage, as we know, wasn't just limited to her mental health. It was the deep sense of betrayal from someone she loved and trusted that cut the deepest. Kiki's story is one that reflects the complexity of mental health struggles, infidelity, and the public's perception of influencers who open their lives for entertainment. It's easy to see the smiles and laughter on screen, but as Kiki's story shows, there's much more behind the camera. But Kiki had finally decided to take a step back. She and Brandon separated. It wasn't a clean break, though. They were still legally married, still bound by the vows they took, even though they weren't living together. But Kiki's decision to leave wasn't an easy one. It took everything in her to walk away from someone she loved, someone who had promised her forever, but who ultimately couldn't provide her with the stability and trust she deserved. Kiki, exhausted from trying to keep everything together, turned to the one place that seemed to provide solace: social media. She started posting about her feelings, her struggles, her pain, and that's when the floodgates opened. People began commenting on her every post, offering unsolicited advice, judging her every move. Some called her a victim, others called her weak. But in the mix of it all, one thing became clear. Kiki wasn't just living her life anymore. She was a spectacle. Her GoFundMe campaign went live shortly after the online drama intensified. She posted it with a message of desperation, explaining her need for help as she tried to find a safe place for her and her kids. But what Kiki didn't expect was the backlash. People accused her of trying to profit from her pain. They claimed she was exploiting her struggles for money.
Yes, I made a GoFundMe. I'm sorry I did it. I get it that y'all saying I'm about money. But bro, if I'm such about money, then why I'm not on here with a busted down wig, some long nails, mustache wax? Why I ain't on here looking like I've been looking? If y'all go look at me, I've never been struggling. I've always been a go-getter. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. I'm trying to stop coming on here. I'm trying, but I'm trying to also make it better for the next woman that's going through this. The next woman. And I'm going to keep telling you, come on here and tell your story. Come on here and tell the world. But damn, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I want to sleep. I want to eat. I want to be myself. I want to be me. Thank you. I want to be me. I want to be the girl that y'all scroll back down and y'all see the happy-go-lucky, the irritating girl. I'm tired of coming on here crying, y'all. I promise I'll take y'all with me on everything I do. I will show y'all how I'm spending whatever money I collect. Show you. I'll take you with me. I don't mind. I love to record. I love to take people with me. I've been doing this. Thank you. But I just want to be free. I just want to be free. That's it. That's all. Every time I'm talking to y'all, my hand be on this Bible. Do y'all see this? Y'all want to know what I've been working on? These are apartment brochures. These are apartment brochures. I don't want to show y'all the name of the apartment like that, but these are apartment brochures. I've been looking. I'm trying to get away from that man. I'm trying to get away. I gotta get out of here, and I'm finna do that. I'm finna go to the hotel. I know I gotta get one. Thank you. And y'all keep saying that I didn't know the gifts was money. I just found out the gifts was money like 3 days ago, because yes, I'm a content creator, but I never went live. I never went live like this. When I did go live, nobody would come on there, so I'll just get off. So I never did the live stuff. Yeah, I did the live on Facebook. And that's how you know live on Facebook they don't give gifts and stuff on Facebook. So of course I'm thinking TikTok live is the same. Of course I'm thinking Instagram live is the same. So it's like everybody trying to find.
But Kiki wasn't asking for handouts. She was asking for survival. The emotional strain was too much for her to bear alone. Her marriage, her family, her entire life had been turned upside down, and she was fighting not just for her peace of mind, but for her children's future. As Kiki's GoFundMe campaign gained attention, the conversation became more heated. Some people stood by her, claiming that what she was going through was real. Others, though, painted her as manipulative, as someone who had turned her pain into a business venture. They posted videos about her, dissecting her every word, analyzing every action. The more she tried to explain herself, the more the narrative spun out of control.
That lady in that wedding dress told y'all every which way that she's an alcoholic. So much so that she said she blacked out at her own wedding. That means her husband didn't get no coochie, by the way. Was blacked out drunk at your wedding, but you got on live in the wedding dress as if that night was so special. I can't make this up.
In one of her live streams, Kiki broke down, explaining how she had been up all night reading the Bible, trying to find some peace. She spoke about her desperation to escape her situation, her need to move on, and her desire to start fresh for herself and her children.
Like, I'm really not trying to bring his family in it, but his sister told me, she said he just had the wedding because you wanted it. His cousin said, that man not really into you. His mama said, my son do be lying, but Keisha is what he really was in love with. Like, I know they hate me because I mentioned them, but it's just my life. It happened in my life. Like, they said it. They told me this. They said that man don't love me. They said it, and it's like, he kept saying, you can't believe them. You can't believe them. They said it. They told me this. I gotta go find a video where she said, my brother not even into you like that. Bro,
said it. They said it.
As the live stream continued, Kiki's words reflected a woman at the edge, someone who had given everything she could to a relationship, someone who had loved deeply and now found herself exhausted by the weight of her own grief, the weight of a love that was never returned in full. She wasn't just asking for money, she was asking for understanding. But just when it looked like it couldn't get any worse, it did. Brandon's family members would also come after Kiki, most especially his mother.
If you would focus on them two nappy head children of yours and comb their mother hair, Sally and Sue, Big Piggy, and Minnie Mouse, Big Piggy, that sit around and eat what, 5 or 6 year old weighing down to 150 pounds. If you will focus on your children, y'all, if y'all just check this background, y'all will see she ain't bought. You got a whole mama that don't with you. Your daddy delusional, big fat, cut up arm, cut up body, Down syndrome, popping, dope fiend daughter-in-law got going. Now, I ain't never been in a relationship where I was really cheated on, because I really never gave a man a reason to cheat on me. I'm not saying that what cheating is right. I'm not saying cheating is right, but I just want the nationwide world to know.
The criticisms didn't end there. It seemed like everyone from Brandon's side of the family had an opinion. His ex-wife, who shared custody of their children with him, also made her presence felt. She shared that Kiki was also cheating.
Okay, first off, let me introduce myself. Let me tap in. I'm Keisha. I am Brandon's ex-wife. Let me fill in a couple of holes and clock this for y'all. Kiki and Brandon got together. First off, me and Brandon was separated since February 22nd of 2022. Him and Kiki got together in 2023. What month in 2023? I think on one of her interviews she said August. Clock that. I have receipts. I'm just waiting for y'all to tap in so I can insert the receipts. When her and Brandon first got together, maybe like, I say two weeks to a month into that relationship, Kiki DM'd me on Facebook and told me to leave her boyfriend, asking me did I know that he has a girlfriend and why am I talking to him, and that I need to leave her man alone. I replied, I'm his wife. At the time I was still his wife. We were still legally married, separated but legally married. To him whenever I want to, and you DMing me about a cheater. So she already knew from the jump that Brandon was a cheater.
Brandon's cousin, too, didn't hold back in her judgment.
The way she trying to make it seem is not what it is. Look, Bam is at his mama house. She's at the apartment by herself. All the bills are paid. She has everything she needs. Doing a meet and greet for what? Y'all gonna be so disappointed when you see that girl. She didn't ruin her marriage. Yes, she did. To a good one. To a good one. Do you see what I'm saying? That's her attitude. When she walk up on you, she be like, I'm Kiki, the content creator. I'm like, who is this little Down syndrome baby? Like, I'm a famous content creator. Girl, go take your medicine. Girl, ain't nothing famous about you. Yes, I told my cousin that she been planning this. I feel like she want to do this and then divorce my cousin. And I think that's why he kind of kept her away. And when she started doing all the things that she did, because you cannot cuss me. And he didn't want nobody to hurt her feelings because he knows she's slow. So why you playing with people that you know, baby? I'm up to speed. Even if my cousin decides to go back with her, I do not want y'all to judge him for that. Because just like women can be manipulated, men can be manipulated too. Men have feelings, right? Men can be abused by women, right? Even if he decides to stay, y'all, that's fine. I just want to clear his name. The domestic violence part, the cheating part, and that. And please, nobody take this offensive what I'm getting ready to say. You have a man who's been on an oil rig for 20 years. You have a man who is a lover boy, who believes in dates, who believes in buying flowers, who believes in pampering you. You never clean up your house. She never ever had to clean up, which was a problem for his mama, because she like, well, he be on this rig all the time. Why you can't clean up? He didn't care. He just wanted to pamper her. He literally went and got his CDL license to have a second source of income. If you are in the state of Texas, you know how much truckers make out here. Okay? You got a man in the oil field and he's a trucker, and you trying to destroy him? He's a good man, Savannah. Really a good man. He come home, he rub your feet, he deal with your mental issues. And you come on here for what y'all say, I guess, clouts, so you can get famous. I hope somebody do scoop him up and love him and take care of him and be part of our family. You gonna love it here. We'll look throw it off.
Her husband's actions, however, didn't go unnoticed. After Kiki's emotional confession, Brandon, Kiki's husband, finally broke his silence. He posted a public apology on Facebook, expressing regret for his actions. His words were filled with remorse as he acknowledged the pain he had caused Kiki and their children. He admitted to being selfish and reckless, taking full responsibility for his mistakes. In his apology, Brandon promised to do the work necessary to become a better man, father, and husband. His words were meant to reassure Kiki and the public that he was ready to make amends. But whether his actions would ever match his words remained to be seen. But the public reaction was mixed. While some sympathized with him for owning up to his mistakes, others couldn't shake the feeling that his apology was more about damage control than genuine remorse. Kiki's supporters, however, rallied behind her, sending her messages of love, hope, and encouragement, reminding her that she would get through this. Brandon's apology, though heartfelt, couldn't erase the damage that had been done. The trust was broken, and the damage to their marriage was irreparable. For Kiki, this public apology came too late. She had already made the painful decision to move on, to reclaim her life, and to focus on her healing journey. In the aftermath of Kiki's livestream, it became clear that her story was not just about the end of a marriage or the loss of her children. It was a story about vulnerability, strength, and survival. Kiki's willingness to share her pain with the world wasn't an act of weakness. It was a display of courage, one that would resonate with countless others who had gone through similar struggles. While the world watched as Kiki navigated this tumultuous chapter in her life, one thing remained certain. The love and support she received from her fans would be a key factor in her recovery. Her story, raw and unfiltered, would inspire others to seek help, to be honest about their struggles, and to never give up, even in the darkest of times. In the end, Kiki was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. The emotional wreckage from the betrayal, the loss of her children, and the constant public scrutiny all weighed heavily on her. Kiki, ever the fighter, vowed to rebuild her life and continue her journey with the support of those who truly cared for her. While she tried to maintain a strong presence online, the reality of her life was far from the image she had carefully crafted. Her mental health battles, the heartbreak of betrayal, and the uncertainty of her future painted a picture of a woman trying to find her way in a world that had turned upside down. Kiki's struggle was far from over, but with the support of her community and the strength she had found in herself, she began to heal. Her public apology, her raw vulnerability, and her commitment to getting better left her followers with a message of hope. Even in the darkest of times, it was clear that Kiki was determined to rise above the pain and find her path to healing. As Kiki moves forward, she continues to embrace the power of vulnerability, choosing to be authentic and transparent. Her journey is far from over, but the first step towards healing has already begun. Kiki's story is a reminder of how fragile our relationships can be and how quickly things can spiral out of control when trust is broken. It's also a stark reminder of the role social media plays in our lives, how a single post, a GoFundMe, a live stream can turn someone's personal struggle into a public spectacle. In a world where privacy is a luxury, Kiki is navigating the delicate balance between vulnerability and exposure. The saga continues, and it seems there's no end in sight. The internet has become both her judge and jury, and Kiki is left to wonder, is there any way out of this, or is she destined to remain in the public eye for good? What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.